I'm Collin, and this is an Audi R8 V10 Performance. The Audi R8 was released in 2006 for its first generation. It originally had a 417 horsepower V8, but in 2009 adopted a V10 from the Lamborghini Gallardo. In 2015, the second generation R8 was introduced for the model year 2016. In 2020, Audi facelifted the R8, so they changed up the front end, some of the side skirts, and bits of the rear end. And as a part of the performance package, you get better brakes and slightly stiffened and refined chassis. The R8 is powered by a 5.2 liter naturally aspirated V10 that makes 602 horsepower. And the diamond cut wheels that are on this car is a $2,500 option. They are also milled out of a single block of aluminum. And the color on this car is a one-off Audi color called Adventurine Orange Mica, which was an Audi exclusive color and costed $3,900. On the surface, it may seem like a lot of money, but a real bargain compared to Porsche's Paint to Sample program at over $15,000. And don't even get me started on the Paint to Sample Plus. So here we are inside the R8. First impression is very good. The materials are very nice, the leather is nice, it's soft, it's very nice to the touch. As you move up to the steering wheel, it's very user-focused. You have your drive select, and your exhaust, and of course the engine start and stop button. Up here you have these paddle shifters that feel alright, and the steering wheel itself is big and meaty. And behind your steering wheel is the LCD gauge cluster. Over here on the side, you have your fuel gauge as well as your engine temperature. On the center stack and console lies your air controls, hazard lights, parking sensor button, traction control button, drive select, as well as the controls for the navigation system. And the R8 Performance shares 50% of its DNA with the R8 GT3 car and 60% with the R8 GT4 car. So with that said, how does it drive? One thing I must say about this car is that the transmission is so fast at shifting, you can just... so good. The R8 is considered one of the most usable supercars, which this is definitely both of those things. When you want to dial it down, it can just become a normal car. But when you want to dial it up... And you gotta love how much character that V10 has. Pops and bangs are just crazy from this car. This car has 18-way power seats. Now they are very comfortable, they support you in all the right places, and they're soft, so you have a very comfortable ride. They also have the beautiful diamond stitching on it, which looks great. This car also has the Alcantara headliner with the diamond stitching, which was also an expensive option, costing $6,200. The visibility out of this car when you're driving is very good. You can see just about everything going on around you. The brakes are also incredibly responsive in this car. You can really feel the texture of the road through the steering system and wheel. It's just, you know what the car is doing. You can also feel it in your seat. You just always know what the car is doing. The R8 has dynamic steering, which means it changes the steering ratio based on how fast you're going, but in dynamic mode, it has a fixed steering ratio. Not all Audi Quattro all-wheel drive systems are the same. The R8 got an electro-hydraulically activated multi-plate clutch in the front to send a little bit of power to the front when needed. In the back lies a mechanical limited slip differential, which means it has a natural rear-wheel drive feel, but enough all-wheel drive to keep things from getting out of hand. Now, it's time for the conclusion. The R8 may very well be the best all-around supercar. For starters, it has very good road manners. It can dial down and become a normal car very well. The ride is very plush and not harsh in the slightest, but when you dial it up, it can wake up and become a supercar. You have the sound, the steering, the chassis feel, and of course, the looks. Not one moment in the car was dull. The interior and the way you see out of the car always reminded you you are in something special, and not to mention that glorious V10. And the fact that Iron Man drove an R8 also helps. In the interior, the materials are fantastic and the fit and finish is top notch. The Audi R8 is a great supercar, and thank you for watching.
What?